Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Today is a special treat for me. I'm joined with fellow 5-time world champion, amongst lots of other titles, Juliana Korver. Thank you for being here.
It's my pleasure. I have not been on this property before. Today is my first time here, and I am so honored to be able to play my first round with you. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. This is my favorite course in the world, and after playing my first practice round ever with Juliana in preparation for the World Championship, I was blown away by the dedication and the level of just pure, she was just so in the zone. And I thought to myself, if I would have been able to see how you practiced when I was coming up into the sport, it would have benefited me so much. So I wanted to kind of put together a video. Yes, we're featuring Maple Hill, but that is not the intended purpose of this video. The intended purpose is to show you how us champions practice when it comes to getting better, getting to know the course, and we're going to show you how we do that on Maple Hill today. Huge thank you to GK Pro for filming this, editing this, and just always supporting women's disc golf. Thank you so much for making this possible, as well as my Patreons. I hope you guys enjoy. All right, so we're on hole 1. We're playing the diamond layout here. This one's 725. Basically, this one's very windy always. So I'm gonna throw 2 discs, both of my Zeus's. My first one is the one I hope to throw, but the second one is gonna be the one where if it starts getting more windy, I know I'm probably gonna have to club up. Tree.
Okay.
Okay.
This is intimidating right off the bat.
So we are going all the way to the dark opening. Yeah. So it's in line with the fence to the right. There's an opening that goes down. So that's where you want to be on your second shot. Mm-hmm. So you know,
the first shot is mostly concerning me right now.
Right. So a lot of players will kind of hyzer out left side into that short grass, and then throw another one just past Bob, and then get onto the green.
Yeah, so elevated tee, 355 to the blue pin. Technically, I should be able to make it over. First throw of the day. Not all of that confident. So I'm gonna try a safe shot here, off to the left to calibrate, and then I will try to be a little bit more aggressive. So this is a wraith. Hopefully, I don't flip it over.
Yep. And like, honestly, being 15 feet shorter of where you are is almost better than being where I am in that tree, you know?
I probably have to pitch out from where I'm at.
But the name of the game at Maple Hills, avoid the evergreens. Like, if you're in them, you're pretty much gaining a stroke. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to try, this one is a destroyer. Try to be a little bit more aggressive, but
it's intimidating. The first hole of the tournament, and like there's always like a big gallery, and you're just like, yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Nice. So yeah, this hole in particular is kind of more about knowing your distance and not trying to get too greedy, because you can easily try to get more distance off the tee and land in the water, and then you got to go to the drop zone, and not a good start to the round.
I was also curious how cart friendly this course would be, so
I think it should be mostly good. There's lots of up and down though. This is the drop zone if you want to look at it.
That one's not as intimidating.
Yeah. pretty open, self-explanatory. Probably, what, 150 to clear it?
Yeah,
Not
a problem.
Yeah.
More concerned with staying straight. How many years have you been playing this tournament?
I think my first year was 2011. So 10 years now?
I know it was already a big thing while I was fading away, but I never made it out here.
Yeah, it's like changed so many times, like different holes, different tees, different like names of the tournament. It's be called the Marshall Street something, and then Maple Hill, and now it's MVP Open.
Yeah, to be honest, I actually paused before I talk about this event because I'm not really sure which one is the correct. So what I'm looking for now are landmarks so I can sort of know what I'm supposed to be throwing towards.
The right side, these trees actually do stop. Like right here, they stop. So if you want to aim like right side, you won't be contending with any of the evergreens.
I see. Okay, so I never keep score during practice rounds, obviously.
Yeah, I don't either.
Multiple shots. I'm gonna throw one of these, but I'm also gonna throw from out here where I hope to land.
Yeah, do it.
Okay, I'm gonna try and turn one over, see if I can get past these trees. I really don't have any idea. I've got a little bit of an uphill run up here, so I'm gonna shorten my steps so my timing sort of remains the same as if it were flat. Whoa, turned that way too much.
Wind. So it looks like you got the distance to get there actually, to the basket, if you wanted.
So let's try that again.
Yeah, that's right where you want it. That's right where you want it. Okay. What's that one, Destroyer?
That was a turn.
Turn.
And I'm gonna throw one from approximately here. If I can figure out what else I want to throw.
Maybe you want a little bit more left.
Okay.
It's gonna be hard to access the gap if you're too far right, it's hard to access the gap. All right, so it's such a big difference from here to right there.
Exactly.
If I'm here, I'm not even considering going for the green, just kind of trying to place one in the grass right short of the gap.
Is that out of bounds around it?
Yeah, the walls.
Okay.
There's a rope when you get up there, you'll be able to see it. And then I tell myself, like, if I'm past this big tree in the open, then I'll go for it. Still risky, very risky.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah.
So that would, I think I'm actually out of bounds. So like this is kind of the zone where it's like tempting, but you know. But
I guess it's good for me then that I don't have anywhere near your power, so I won't be tempted by this particular shot.
All right, I'm gonna throw the sidearm too. I'm definitely a backhand dominant player, but I try to, on practice rounds, at least throw the sidearm. Get more reps in. So pretty.
Okay, so I'm definitely a backhand dominant player, but in practice I try to... Actually, no, I should, in practice, try to do a forearm.
You've been working on the sidearm. There's just really nothing like watching a floaty backhand.
I know, it's so much more enjoyable
pretty.
to me.
Okay, so for me, when I'm playing practice rounds, I will putt from the one I'm at just because that's likely where I'm gonna land. But I try to take like 10, I have 2 putters, so like 6 to 10 putts per green just to kind of familiarize myself with the green, the trees on it, the slopes, if there's like roots in the ground, where to not put my feet, stuff like that.
For me, I'm definitely assessing the area. So I've got my phone out because I'm going to do voice to text, and I'm going to take notes to myself so that when I come back and play it, I can see what I was thinking during this first round. So I'm going to tell myself how far the OB is on either side. I'm going to identify that that tree is 12 feet from the basket. I'm going to have all these landmarks, so when I'm standing out there, I'm more confident in how hard I need to throw to try to put it underneath the basket. Hole 1, likely throw an overstable disc to the left, second shot.
So what she's doing, this is something that lots of players do. Maybe not all of them use voice notes, but we're all identifying, okay, that tree's 45 feet from the basket. So maybe you can't see the basket, but you can see that tree. So you know, okay, if I get 15 feet past that tree, I'm at the circle's edge. Those are things that we're definitely thinking about. All the visual markings that we can, whether it be a different shade of green that we're like, okay, right under that, stuff like that. So she's taking it one step further with going on to her notes. Okay, hole 2, this is our second and only open hole until we get to the back 9. So enjoy the airspace, Juliana. This is 315 feet. It is dead straight, but the tree on the right kind of makes you have to use the left side of the fairway a little bit more. So I'm coming up the left side of the tee pad. This is something I'm thinking about very often, is where do I need to position my body to make the gap bigger? So since I have to be on the left side of the tee pad, but I kind of want it to fade a little, I'm throwing understable-ish. This is my passion. The one thing I'm thinking about here is, where do you not want to be? And my gut is saying I don't want to be OB on the right side. So my miss here, if I miss, is a little bit too much of a hyzer. So as long as I don't roll my wrist over, I should be able to get the par no matter what. And if I hit it perfectly, I should get into the circle. Oh. So not too much hyzer on that one, but like I said, I should be able to get a par from there.
I absolutely love that Paige is talking about angles on the tee pad. I don't think that everyone does that, and you should. So I'm going to do the same thing. However, my angle is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to throw something far more understable, though I was just at elevation and I don't know what discs I have in my bag right now. I mean, I have mini red Roadrunners, so it's probably not. So my idea is to throw from this side, throwing more at the trees, knowing it's going to come back.
Yeah, nice flight. Want to hit it again?
Go right ahead.
Okay. All right, this one has a little bit more stability, so I'm going to hit this one a little harder. Same idea though. Oh, you got to commit. I'm so scared of the wall. So scared.
Okay, same with mine. Mine is a little bit more stable, still very understable for most of the world. So I got to be a little bit more deliberate on this. My normal air is to throw low. I still got pretty close, but would have been better if I had it up in the air. So a lot of times, if you see me mumbling on the team, many of the times I'm saying, throw it in the air, throw it in the air, or throw up, throw up, throw up. So right now I'm trying to throw up.
Sneaky. You got to putt, actually.
Really don't want to do that again.
You gotta
but
putt. And actually, you know, this is something where most players wouldn't really think about this, but I've played with Valerie Jenkins, now Doss, and she lays up to the hill and doesn't even try to get into the gap. She plays this one for 3, like she'll throw a putter to right there and then progress.
Well, I absolutely admire people who do that.
Yeah. All right, this is obviously a super easy up shot, but I like to pretend it's a little bit tighter. So like engage more scrambling tricks.
That was pretty.
Oh. So let me ask you, since you're famous for your JK AVRs, right? What drew you to a putter? Because lots of pros use stiff putters, and I'm curious what draws you to the more soft JK AVRs?
Okay, the full story.
Yeah.
I used to be sponsored by Discraft.
Okay.
I putted with a soft magnet.
Okay.
I moved over to Innova. The AVR was put in my hand. This is completely foreign feeling to me.
Uh-huh.
My fingers do not feel like they're about to putt.
Okay.
So I said that didn't work. There was never an agreement, okay, we're going to make a disc for you. It was, they made the disc because there was nothing for me that I was comfortable with to putt with.
Yeah.
And so a week later, I got a box of, 6 white,
Testers.
super soft
Cool.
putters that's a JK test on them. And it's like, well, what do you think of these? I love them.
Awesome.
So that's how they came about.
That's really cool. You just so you like the way it feels in your hand.
Yeah.
And yeah, cool.
It's what I'm used to.
Yeah.
It's what I prefer. And the super bonus is that I think that they are fantastic flyers.
Yeah.
So I think they're just really, really good off the tee, really, really good from the fairway. And the grip is more of a personal preference than anything else.
Yeah.
So better to air short left than to turn too much.
You're gonna find there's lots of, actually probably every green is like different on all the sides, There's not just like an open grassy area with a basket in it.
Well, one thing that there's 2 things that I love, that makes me love a course. Beauty. I want it to be scenic. And 3, I want it to be, 2. 3. I want it to be unique. I want it to be memorable. I don't want to come off and, which backhand hyzer was that? Which tunnel shot was that? I want everything to have personality.
Right.
And I'm getting the impression that this place is gonna fit that.
Yeah. So this one, can you see the basket?
I can.
Yeah, cool. So this one for me, it's one that takes full commitment, and every shot does, but this one, the way that the gap is facing is like an overstable flex shot.
Yep.
And if you don't turn it enough, you hit the trees on the left, or if you turn it too much, there's actually a downslope on the right side of the tee. So if you put too much turn, it'll just like continue gliding down the hill that way. Another thing, this came into play one year for me. If you don't get over this wall, you're OB. We're teeing from OB.
Okay.
So there's a drop zone right up there. So
good to know.
Yeah, shouldn't come in play, but so for me, I'm going overstable on this one, kind of like neutrally overstable though. I'm throwing my Gannon Undertaker on a force Annie, and I know it'll stable up a little at the end. See, it could come into play. It could.
Okay, everything that you said matches with what I see, and I am also going to throw something slightly overstable to neutral for me, which is a TL3, but at 350 feet, I doubt I'm going to get there. So this is, again, a calibration to see if it makes sense for me to try to throw hard and turn just left of that tree and hopefully have it come back, or if I just concede and throw a mid-range just to get through there.
Just to cure it. Yeah. And last thing is on the left side, very, very, very often just sneak through up there. Like if you have enough power but you accidentally miss left, you'll see them sneak through those, because those trees are pretty skinny up there. Obviously you don't want to plan on that, but a little more, yeah.
Once again, way too low.
Yep. And you'll see too, like the higher you hit on the hill, the more skip you'll get up it too.
Ooh. There, that's what I had envisioned. Really nice.
There we go.
Okay. Not sure it's very smart for me to throw a faster disc and try that, but right now I'm gonna, just for the fun
practice.
Of it. Yeah.
It's the time for trying all kinds of stuff.
No, I didn't.
Sometimes for me, what Juliana was just talking about was like, I don't know if it's smart of me to try this, but might as well. For me, when I have those thoughts, I actually do it, because if in my head I'm saying this is silly and then I mess it up, then I'm not tempted by trying to do that in the tournament.
Yeah, and for me, it's kind of the other way around. I almost am never tempted to do anything in a tournament. So I want to do that to see if there's a potential for success, so that I can sort of talk myself into it by the time the tournament comes around.
Yeah, because the opposite of what I'm saying, like if it does work out, you're like, wow, maybe I'm underestimating myself, you know? Because I think sometimes we let the doubt creep in before we even try.
I'm gonna try one from down here.
What you got?
So I want to try from one from the valley in case something hits. Filters back here. What I want to know is if I can reach that standstill or if I have to take a little step. I suspect I'm probably going to need a step, but I'll try it without.
Yeah, that's great, because behind the basket does drop off. So anywhere pin high and left, or even deep and left, is flat. Anywhere right of the basket, or deep of the basket, you're downhill. That's something I was kind of working on like this summer. I know it's still technically summer, but like at what distance do I need to step?
Exactly.
What's the distance between jump putting and a standstill putter approach?
Exactly. And of course the elevation needs to be considered in that as well. Quite a bit of wind. I didn't expect wind back here in the woods too.
So I don't really practice from these. There's no benefit of me running a 80-footer in practice. I'm just gonna spend my time differently by assessing the green. Look at all these trees. So maybe I kind of filter down this hill and I got this tree in my way. This one's pretty self-explanatory, really. Just try to hit the gap. Honestly, I'm going standstill on this one, so I don't have to think about how slow my feet are moving. I don't need any of that momentum or run up. It's downhill and it's only 275. So standstill right at the center of the gap. And my only thought is flat release, basically. And that left side, that's kind of what I naturally end up doing, is hyzering a little bit left. I notice if I get it a little bit too direct at the basket, I bring the tree in the right into play. On the left side, you actually, where I'm at, I'm gonna have like a 25 to 35 foot putt every time. So I feel good about that.
Okay, I'm not sure if I'm going to take a run up or if I'm going to stand still. I'm going to do the same thing, try to go down the middle of the gap. What I might do is I might aim lower and try to go for the ground play and then take away the hyzer fade at the end. So now I'm trying to decide stand still or run up.
Both.
Yeah, I probably will do both, yeah. Right now, at least today. Okay.
That's great. I love the ground play.
Now, I actually, based on that, don't think I can get there with a complete standstill, so I'm going to try it with just a couple steps here. I didn't hate it.
By the basket. It's kind of like Plinko down there. Like all the trees, you could have like a kick off the tree into the basket. Seen it. Kind of all she wrote for me on this one. This actually used to be an option and people would go like sidearm flex. If I don't make the gap, I'm either hitting this tree or that tree, so just somewhere in here. It's relatively easy approach. For me, I'm just thinking about speed control, making sure I don't overthrow it. A little too stable. Be happy with that.
So watching you, I'm thinking, when you say this is a relatively easy approach, I'm thinking, ah!
As far as distance,
yes,
as far as distance goes.
This seems much harder to me than the shot up there.
The tee shot even.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Because up there you can throw hard.
Yeah.
And here you can't.
True.
So I'm sneaking in to have a little bit easier shot, so I'm not. Oh, and of course now we got the wind, and I've
straight
got my
headwind right at us.
My 25-year-old AVR here. Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
I still liked it.
It was a great angle, great speed. Yeah, what I mean by easier is 99% of the population that plays disc golf can reach the basket from here, I guess is what I mean. But if you notice when you're watching disc golf coverage and a pro throws an incredible shot, they get an albatross or something crazy, and then on a really hard hole, and then the next hole's this really easy par 3, and you at home are thinking, oh, how could they not birdie this? It's actually harder for us to get the par 3s because we're having to tone back, and it's not that same muscle memory every time of just ripping it. We're having to hold back and ease it. So that's actually why that shot is more difficult, as Juliana's saying.
And in her scenario, if I just got an albatross, my heart rate is still way elevated. So sometimes it's really hard to shoot a good shot after you have a great one.
Totally.
Because you have to get back to your baseline, and you can't always do that quickly.
Totally. This is actually a very common place that I land, so this is fitting for me.
Nice.
Oh, same putt. Just hung on just enough.
It's actually a little less scary from this angle than it was from over there.
About 28 footer from there. All right, so this one,
That's not.
I'm trying to break my streak today for you GK Pro boys.
We are not going at that basket.
We are
this
going, one.
Okay, got it. Huh.
So you Actually, this will be my first year, 2021, going for this basket over the water. In years past, I've just chose to actually fly it right over the red basket.
I like that idea.
What I was finding is I was actually bogeying it very often because I would hit one of these trees and it would still kick in the water. So that's something to keep in mind. Something else I did in previous years is kind of come from here
Go up that
to that
gap.
way, and like a stalling
Yeah, I can see
hyzer.
that.
The two's not really in play, but you can definitely three it. Like, see the white and red thing on the tree? You can get to there pretty easily with a, not easily, but you know, there's a clear path.
Yes. And once you're there, is there a clear path to the basket? Okay.
Yes. So you'll see a lot of girls going this way, and then you'll see like the side armors go this way.
Sure.
Hokum gets this one almost every time, and I was like sick of losing 2 strokes to her. So I'm gonna at least give myself a chance. I might go B still, but I think at this point, especially with the new sole in my bag, it's gonna drift right. Ooh, love it. So scary though.
So this is the kind of shot that I would want to go to a field and set up so that I could try it without having the potential to lose a disc.
Yep.
But I'm not throwing that way today. I'm going to take this high route and try to end up by the tree with the red and white on it. So what do I want to throw? I'm just going to try my putter and see what happens.
Yeah. You could benefit from a tiny bit more dump.
Okay, so I need to not push it quite as much and let it fall sooner in the flight. So one way to do that is to throw it up higher in the air. It was wide. That looks very similar to the last one.
You could see, I mean, I think you're going to be able to get a 3 from there pretty
Okay.
consistently.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Yeah. And then this one I am going to throw from the drop zone because I might be bringing the drop zone into play.
I want to at least take a peek at this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cutie.
Yeah. So drop zones are something that I think in my prior years, like my early years on tour, I just told myself, oh, I don't need to practice the drop zone. I'm not gonna mess up. And that's just naive of me and like a little overly confident. I don't want the drop zone in the tournament to be my first time I'm seeing it. So definitely practice any drop zone, especially on a hole like this that you're purposely bringing the water in play. I'm likely gonna land here at least once. Hopefully not, but I need to prepare for that. Ooh, dropped it. Ooh, that's enough.
The line was always
The wind
good. I was
kinda-
not
yeah.
sure about the height. The wind played with that more than I expected.
Uh-huh, it did. Nice.
What do you think?
These are good ones to like feel which way the wind blows off the water, what wind you're gonna be putting with in the tournament. It's pretty often that the water kind of brings the wind in. So if you're on this side of the basket, you're gonna be putting into a headwind at an elevated basket with water behind. So these are putts for me. If I'm outside the circle, I'm laying up.
the line will be right at this.
I think so. I think it is that.
And we're
So this one,
315.
hole 6, one of the best par 3s in my opinion ever. He's behind you.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, you got the OB wall on the right and then the pond on the left. There's actually like a secondary tunnel on the left side.
Okay.
That is a lot of people's preferred routes. If you kind of go for the smaller tunnel, it's really hard to hit it. So like if you get it like 70% of the way there and it's hyzering, you're in a good spot actually. So it's kind of like player preference if you're trying to go for the right or left. For me, I'm going for the left gap. I'm just gonna throw a slow speed putter, just throw it straight, and at the end get a little bit of
So you're not going for the birdie here?
I get myself like a 30 footer sometimes on good drives, or if I accidentally mess up and I put it a little too flat, sometimes it sneaks through the right gap. But I know I'm not gonna hyzer left with this, and I know I'm not gonna go OB right, so. I want it a little bit flatter than that. But
Okay.
you'll see when you get up there, it's actually very, very open on that
Where
left
you're
path.
at is very open.
I'm a little bit too left of open. If you check
Okay.
over here, actually, if you hyzer just in front of it, see that path over there? And like, you know, those trees right there are very skinny. So you have like a putt at the basket.
Okay.
If you wanna.
During the round.
Ooh. So you're gonna love that though. I really do think you're gonna like that. All right, so this one is hole 7, 295 feet. I love this hole actually. It's very tight, and if you hit one of these early trees, instant bogey, probably even double bogey. So it adds that intimidation, but you have to try your best to just block that out of your mind and aim for something in the back of the fairway. When you're on a feature card or a practice round with GK, you have the advantage of aiming at the cameraman back there. So I'm gonna aim right at Bob and try to block these early trees out of my vision completely, and just make sure that I'm thinking about what angle I want it to hit on and then commit right at Bob. Oh, not a bad spot to be.
Okay. I actually can't see the basket, but I know where it is thanks to Paige. Obvious route. It's a little bit uphill, so 295. It's going to play more like 310, 315. I'm going to throw a TL3, a little bit more overstable, so it's going to hopefully come back at the end, but I'm more concerned about getting through the trees. I might end up throwing a mid-range if I can't control this, so just see how this goes.
There we go.
Okay, I'm gonna try a leopard, try to hit that gap. I know that I'm not gonna get there with this disc, but now I just wanna hit that gap.
Parked.
Better. Still not happy because it was on the
Yeah,
left
I
of the
know.
tree instead of
I
the right
know.
of the tree, but
I'm gonna pretend it got a worse kick than that, because that was a very nice kick off that tree. Let's pretend I'm over there. Oh, why are you going so wide? All right. What'd you think about the leopard? Far enough?
well, if I know that I can reach it, I'll put just a tiny bit more on it.
Yeah,
So yeah,
cool.
I think that's probably the right choice because I have more control over the flight.
Uh-huh. Then clubbing up, you're saying?
Yep.
To the Roadrunner?
Actually, I was throwing TL3
Okay.
to make sure that it would come back at the end.
Okay. All right. Over the water. Hole 8. This is a water carry 300 feet. They backed us up this year. You know, like I said, I'm not trying to, I'm featuring Maple Hill, but this is about how we practice. And for me, on this type of hole where you have a full water carry, biggest concern is what is the wind doing? Not just what disc do I feel comfortable getting across this distance on, but what is the common wind? For this hole, it's usually headwind or left to right, so it's gonna push us right. So make sure whatever that disc is, for me it's a buzz, pick your more overstable one to fight that wind. So for me, I'm going to my medium stability buzz, making sure I hit it on hyzer and nice and committed, because if I kind of, you know, don't pop it enough and it starts wobbling, that wind is gonna get under it and take it to the right. Wow, windy.
Just in time for the throw. Absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
Okay, once again, this is intimidating. The water
You guys
carry
wanna play
is
through?
almost the entire length of the hole with a strong wind. I'm just gonna throw hard, and once again, I'm telling myself, get the disc in the air, because my normal mistake here would put the disc in the water because of height, not because of distance. Okay, so there might be a grunt here.
Let's hear it. Yes! No, the wind dropped it! No!
At least it's retrievable.
Yes, it is.
It doesn't look like it's closer
To go
at
right.
any point. Is that true?
I agree. And if you go too far right, there is a secondary pond. So even if you clear this and you go right, there's secondary pond over there.
Okay. Even though I'm not inbounds, I'm not throwing another one. I know that I can throw that inbounds if I get it up in the air a little bit more.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hearing some stuff from players that say like they don't want the drop zone to be makeable. I don't know how I feel about that, really. I think it takes the element of like fear out of the tee shot if you know you can save par from the drop zone, but
I could argue either side of that.
Yeah, me too. I'm like asking everyone what they think, because I still haven't formulated like a full strong opinion. Yeah, it's from that tee pad right up there. Yeah.
Well, I had better go try that. Though there's no way I'm going for that.
Can you play backboard for me? I'm gonna try to go for this real quick. Sweet. Drop! Oh! Woo! All right. Stay up! Oh. I think that's a pretty good drop zone.
Well, the tee pad's adorable.
Yeah. Oh, sit. Got it.
Thanks.
Yeah. Had to try. All right.
Okay, so
I don't know. It's definitely
I think
tough.
one benefit that you have that I didn't is I don't think we have the same personality, and you know, I hide from everything.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of effort to be so visible.
coming back and having?
Even originally.
Okay.
The first sit-down interview I did was after the 90 World Championships. It was John Houck, and he had this booth, and I sat down, I did the interview, and as felt like we were done. I said, "Are we finished? Are we finished?" He said, "Yes, we're finished." I took off the mic, I sat it down, I stood up, I literally ran just in whatever direction looked like it was the least populated. I literally ran away.
Whoa.
So it's...
Yeah, we're much different in that. Wow. Crazy. All right, hole 9. This is a really, really unique hole. I love this hole. It kind of comes up and back down. And my takeaway from excluding Maple Hill out of this conversation, on a hole like this where you have so many different elevation changes, it's very important to keep the disc as flat as possible, because whether you're going uphill or downhill, if it's nose up, it's not going to get as much distance. So for me, even though this first part is uphill, I want to go just over the top of the hill on a flat angle so that I'm still penetrating forward when it does start to drop back down. This one cuts over to the right, so as flat as I do want the disc to be, I also want to have a little bit of anhyzer release here. I feel like I'm in a good spot.
I did get a chance to walk up there and look at this shot. There's a lot going on here. We start by going uphill. When you go uphill, the disc will act as if it's more stable than it is, more overstable than it is. I'm throwing a mid-range so that I can control the angle, and because it looks like there's a potential if you really punch it hard that you can end up in the water, I am just going to see how far this goes and judge my next practice attempts in the next rounds based on that. So once again, because this is an uphill shot, I really need to concentrate on getting this disc in the air so I don't land 50 feet in front of me on that hill.
Throw up.
Throw up. Okay, I like the height. I turned that too much. I'm gonna throw another mid-range and try to get the gap.
That should be okay from over there. If you kind of hyzer out left but you're short, you land by that short tee pad. And so anytime you're by a tee pad, you know.
Clearly there's got to be some visualization of a shot.
And actually it's not bad at all there, because then you can kind of like throw a hyzer into the green.
Is it retrievable if it goes in the water?
Yes. Unless you go hard right. But yeah, that right there in front of the leading edge, that's definitely retrievable.
Okay. I'm gonna try, well, maybe I try both routes here. Maybe I just, okay. I need to punch it with some turn. That's not gonna be over. Hit that.
Oh, you got, oh, well.
Okay. Let's try that again. Get it up higher in the air. Well, that's way too much.
Safe. All the ones by the water are elevated. It's funny. Go for it, Juliana. All right, everyone, I really hope that not only you enjoyed this, but you learned something. I know that I learned lots from Juliana every day, especially today. And thank you for coming on. I really enjoyed this so much.
My pleasure. Thank you for showing me the course, and I'm looking forward to the back nine.
Yeah, so we are going to cut this video here. It's been a long video already. We're gonna call this part 1. We're gonna jump over to the back nine where it gets a little bit longer, more open. So we're gonna see how we deal with that type of course. So check us out on part 2, the back nine of Maple Hill. And thanks again to GK Pro for being out here with us, filming, supporting women's disc golf, and to my Patreons for making this possible.